She's on your food.
Good morning.
Okay, the person that have Zoom user, please put your mic on mute. But before you do that, what's your name?
Kenny Prevost.
Prevost. Okay, put your mic on mute, Mr.
Okay.
Prevost.
Okay.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to welcome you to County Court at Law Number 2. My name is Judge Terrence L. Holmes. I'm the presiding judge here in County Court at Law Number 2. This morning, we have 3 dockets. We have an announcement docket, a jury trial docket, and a pretrial conference docket. When we call your name to come up before the bench, you're going to come up before the bench. If you have an attorney, you'll come up before the bench with your attorney. If your attorney is not here, your attorney is probably in another court handling another matter, and we'll wait for your attorney to arrive. Okay, first case is cause number M332239. Case is style of State of Texas versus Chelsea, Washington. Ms. Washington, would you please come forward? Ms. Washington, your full name is Chelsea Washington. How you doing, Ms. Washington? You doing fine? Ms. Washington, you're represented by your attorney, Attorney Dallas Cole. Attorney Cole, how you doing?
Good morning, how you doing?
Good morning, I'm doing fine. And the state is represented in this case by Attorney Colby Hoffbauer. Attorney Hoffbauer, how are you doing?
Good, Your Honor, thank you.
Mr. Cole, what is your announcement in Ms. Washington's case?
I think we were giving Ms. Washington more time to pay restitution. Is that what you have?
Is that correct?
Criminal, just, there's a criminal mischief, I believe, and I think that's the motion to revoke, if I'm not mistaken. Is there a motion to revoke on one of these judges?
Let
Is
me,
that not the case we're talking about? Okay.
That's his,
She's got a criminal mischief and an assault.
family violence, yeah.
Yes.
And it was reset 30 days,
yeah, that was the time.
August. It was, you said it was some restitution.
And the criminal mischief, Judge.
Okay, she needs additional time or does she have?
Additional time. I'm guessing about 2 more months.
It's not that old, Judge. Am I right with that?
60 days?
60 days,
Okay,
and we're gonna resolve both the time when that's done.
okay, so we're gonna reset it 60 days? Okay, it's gonna be reset to November 13th, 2023.
It's not. I don't know.
Okay, now, Ms. Washington, your case is gonna be reset 60 days to give you time to get the money to pay the restitution. And once that's done, I guess both of these cases will be disposed of.
We'll work.
I
I'm
don't
gonna
know.
give you the number for you.
Yeah, he'll provide your attorney with the number. Okay. So your cases is going to be reset to November 13th, 2023. Once you get your reset from your attorney, Mr. Cole, you'll be free to go, Ms. Washington. And Mr. Cole, is this your only case?
Mr. Jimmy Casella.
Okay, on the other, okay. All right, just have a seat. He'll give you your reset. Next case is on the trial docket. Case is style of state of Texas versus Jimmy Priscilla Jr. This is cause number M324696. Case is style of state of Texas versus Jimmy Priscilla Jr. Oh,
I submitted the dismissal.
oh, you did?
Mhm.
Oh,
And that's the.
oh, okay. Yeah, but I'll be the inventory.
You need to print this. There you go, okay.
You want to print it anymore?
I can print it. Good, I'm doing that.
Okay, that's fine. Court is in session in cause number M324696. Case is style the state of Texas versus Jimmy Purcell Jr. Mr. Purcell, is that your full name? Mr. Purcell, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Purcell, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God? Mr. Purcell, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Purcell? I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking, Mr. Purcell. You're represented in your case by your attorney, Attorney Giles Cole, Attorney Cole. Do you waive a record in Mr. Purcell's case?
Yes, sir.
State is represented in this case by Attorney Erica Porter. Attorney Porter, how are you doing?
I'm doing great.
Mr. Purcell, I have before me in this case a motion to forfeit the weapon to the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office.
Yes, sir.
Miss, you're gonna have to scratch through. It says police department. And Mr. Purcell, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that is titled defendant?
Yes, sir.
Now, before you sign this document, did your attorney go over this document with you?
Yes, sir.
And did you read and understand everything in this document?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in this document true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
And is it your desire to have the court to grant this motion to forfeit the weapon to the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office?
Yes, sir.
Okay, the court is granting this motion. And state, you have an additional motion or to dismiss the case?
Yes, it has already been submitted.
Okay,
It should be.
yes.
You should-
Mr. Purcell, as part of this plea bargain agreement, the state is dismissing this case for forfeiture of the weapon. I'm signing the forfeiture. And I'm signing the motion to dismiss, and I'm also signing a motion to remove the global positioning monitoring system device that you were required to wear as a condition of the bond. Okay? You'll be able to get a copy of the motion, a copy of the dismissal from your attorney in about 2 minutes. Okay? You can stand in front of the court coordinator.
Thank you.
And you're welcome. And once you get your copy, you'll be free to go. And you have a blessed day.
You too.
And this is your last case.
Yes, sir.
Are you free to go as well? You have a blessed day. Oh, you need to give him you need to get a copy of this here.
Oh.
Because he needs to bring this here to the place that you got your thing from. You looking for? Mr. Cole, he probably left. Yeah, unless he's in hall. Oh, there he is, right there.
All right, then, have a good.
Okay, same to you. Mr. Vasquez, you ready?
No, I just need to, just wait on the pad.
Okay.
No.
There's a pad right there
Give you the name.
on the corner of that table.
Both are.
Oh, yeah. Ms. Pettaway, we just found out that your attorney, Rife Kimler, is currently picking a jury in another court, so he won't be here today because he's in trial. So we're gonna give you a reset from the court coordinator. Once you get your reset, you'll be free to go, and you have a blessed day. You're welcome. On what docket? Sadler?
Steven Sadler.
Okay, that's a harassment. Mr. Sadler, where are you? Oh, would you come forward? Mr. Sadler, you are also represented by Attorney Rife Kimler.
Yes, sir.
The court has just been informed that Mr. Kimler is picking a jury in another trial, in another case. So he's trying a case in another court. And so your case will be reset. Our court coordinator is going to give you your reset. Once you get your reset from our court coordinator, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day. You can get in line by. Okay, who else? There is one on, is that Garcia? Next case is cause number M334095, case is style of state of Texas versus Brianna Garcia.
May I?
Yes.
Speak up. I don't see anything. No, my job.
Okay.
To tell you everything.
This is cause number M334095. Case of style of state of Texas versus Brianna Garcia. Ms. Garcia, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Garcia, would you please raise your right hand? Ms. Garcia, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Garcia, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Ms. Garcia?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Ms. Garcia, you represented in your cases by your attorney, Attorney James Paget. Attorney Paget, how are you doing?
Doing well, Your Honor. Good morning.
Good morning. Now, Mr. Paget, do you waive a record in Ms. Garcia's case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Garcia, I have before me a document that is titled information. This information was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. In this information, it alleges that you, Brianna Garcia, on or about October 14 of 2022, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class B misdemeanor offense of theft. Ms. Garcia, do you understand what you have been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to this charge, Ms. Garcia, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No.
Now, you pleading no contest freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges? Ms. Garcia, I also have before me a document that is titled misdemeanor plea admonishments. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 2 of this same document, Ms. Garcia, there are a set of initials on the line next to the box that's checked nola contendere. And do you recognize this,
Yes, sir.
these set of initials?
Yes, sir.
Now nola contendere also means no contest. On page 3 of the same document, there is a signature above the line that is titled defendant. Is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
And on the next document, that's titled trial court certification, the defendant's right of appeal, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
There's a signature above the line that is titled defendant. Is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
At the top of this document, there are 2 boxes checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes, sir.
The second box that's checked states that you are waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes, sir.
I also have before me a document that is titled Discovery Certification. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Garcia, before you signed and initialed these documents that I just showed you, did your attorney, Mr. Paget, go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir.
And did you read and understand everything in these documents?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Garcia, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, sir.
State. I have before me State's Exhibit number 1, the misdemeanor plea admonishment, and State's Exhibit number 2, the probable cause affidavit. State, would you like to offer State's Exhibits 1 and 2 in the evidence?
Yes, Judge.
No objections to states 1 and 2, Your Honor.
No objections. State's Exhibits 1 and 2 are admitted into evidence. Mr. Paget, you advising counsel, Ms. Garcia, is there any evidence that she is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, Your Honor.
And Ms. Garcia, your attorney, Mr. Paget, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Garcia, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. And I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
We do, Your Honor.
And what is that agreement?
In exchange for the defendant's plea of no contest, the state is offered 1 year deferred, $500 fine, 60 hours community service, and court costs.
What is our court cost? 292. Ms. Garcia, the state is offering that you serve 1 year deferred adjudicated probation. During the 1 year probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $500 plus court costs of $292. You'll also be required to pay a probation fee of $60 each month, a year analysis fee of $15 each month, and a reimbursement fee. Your total monthly installments will be $155 a month. Will you be able to pay the $155 each month?
Yes, sir.
You'll also be required to perform 60 hours of community service, and you'll be required to adhere to the other standard terms and conditions of this probation. Ms. Garcia, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes, sir.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Garcia, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Ms. Garcia, if you successfully complete this probationary period, this case will be dismissed. It would not result in a conviction on your record, and you may qualify for a non-disclosure. And you can talk to your attorney, Mr. Paget, about the non-disclosure because he's quite competent in those matters. Ms. Garcia, this will conclude your case. You're gonna stand next to your attorney in front of our court clerk. Once you've finished with the clerk, then you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day. Okay,
Thank you.
and Mr. Paget,
For me,
okay, you're free to go as well. You have a blessed day.
I'm not going.
It's on the trial docket. Who's the prosecutor?
I am.
Oh, okay. This is cause number M329988, in case it's style of state of Texas versus Daniel E. Domina Rivera. Mr. Rivera, how are you doing? That's good. Mr. Rivera, or Domina Rivera, you represented by your attorney Langston Adams. Mr. Adams, how are you doing? Mr. Adams, what is your announcement in Mr. Domina Rivera's case? Y'all ready? Oh, state?
We're ready now.
Okay. We'll give you a call, number, just be here tomorrow at 1:30.
All right, 1:30?
Yes. All right.
Back to 1:30. Come on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see, you have Stephen Michael Smith,
Yes, Your Honor.
is he
Yes,
present?
he was down the hall, in 252nd. That case has been reset.
Okay, he needs to come here.
Okay,
And the bailiff is gonna go call his name, I guess, in the hallway.
Reset it with the felony judge. All right.
Yeah, we should, yeah, okay, I know, we
That's
still
fine.
need to make an appearance.
because I've been in the city since.
Okay.
What on the trial.
You might need
Let me
to
go.
give him a call, okay. Oh, okay. Let me do this here. Mr.
On the announcement docket.
On the announcement, okay.
um,
Call us at Caleb Brown.
He's here, and that's gonna be a plea, Your Honor.
Okay, Okay, let me mic that down to please, okay.
And on the announcement docket, Joshua P.
Joshua Peavy,
is here.
the cause number, you want to come forward, Mr. Peavy? This is cause number M331268. Case is out of the state of Texas versus Joshua Shea Peavy. Mr. Peavy, how are you doing? I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. Peavy, you represent any case by your attorney, Attorney James Macon. Attorney Macon, how are you doing?
It's Monday, Your Honor.
Okay. Now, Mr. Macon, what is your announcement in Mr. Peavy?
Your Honor, I would ask for 30 more days on Mr. Peavy. We're negotiating some things, and I haven't been able to get with him because I've been in 3 murder trials like in a row. So
Okay,
my fault entirely.
okay. Now, this is a pretty old case. We need to
I understand, Josh.
get it disposed of in
We'll
some
get
fashion, form of fashion.
Sounds good to me, Your Honor.
So we're gonna reset it. This will be your last, I guess, reset on the announcement docket. Give them a 30-day reset. State, first of all, do you have any objections?
No, you.
Okay. Reset to October 23rd. Okay, Mr. Peavy, this case is reset to October 23rd, 2023. Your attorney's gonna get your reset. Once you get your reset, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day.
You can go on.
Okay. Okay, we got, what we have ready. We have a couple of cases ready. Yes, 4. Who's, let's see, we got Gunn and McGinnis. Gunn and McGinnis. Gunn and McGinnis. Gunn. Oh, that's Mr. Brian Lane. Mr. Brian Lane, you ready on yours? Yeah, Glenda, this is yours. You need to get this. 6 months. No fine.
No, this recommendation, not for felony.
Okay.
He had a felony, and that's
You know-
taken into consideration.
Yeah, that Erica would never offer.
6 months. So that's,
Shame. All I do.
okay. Yes, let's see, Mr. Dunn. Ordinance is here. Okay. This is cause number M 329-536. Case is filed the state of Texas versus Trevor Gunn. Mr. Gunn, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Gunn, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Gunn, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Gunn, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Gunn?
Doing good.
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. Gunn, you're here represented by your attorney Brian Lane. Attorney Lane, how are you doing?
Good, Your Honor. Thank you.
That's good. Mr. Lane, did you waive a record in Mr. Gunn's case?
We do, Your Honor.
Mr. Gunn, I have before me a document that is titled information. This information was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. In this information, it alleges that you, Trevor Gunn, on or about February 20th of 2021, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed to Class A misdemeanor offense of resisting arrest, search, transportation. Mr. Gunn, do you understand what you've been charged with?
Sir.
And to this charge, Mr. Gunn, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No comment.
Now, you pleading no contest freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Mr. Gunn, I also have before me a document that is titled misdemeanor plea admonishments. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 2 of this same document, there are a set of initials, TG on the line next to a box that's checked nola contendere, which means no contest. Did you place your initials on this document?
Yes.
On page 3 of this same document, there's a signature above the line that is titled defendant. Is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
On the next document that is titled trial court certification of defendant's right of appeal, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes, sir.
At the top of this document, there is one box that's checked. The box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that
Yes, sir.
statement? I also have before me a document that is titled discovery certification. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant? Mr. Gunn, before you sign and initial these documents that I just showed you, did your attorney, Mr. Lane, go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir.
And did you read and understand everything in these documents?
Yes.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Gunn, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, sir.
State, I have before me states exhibit number 1 and number 2. Number 2 is a misdemeanor. Well, number 1 is misdemeanor plea admonishment. Number 2 is the probable cause affidavit, which is in the court's file. State, you like to offer states 1 and 2?
Yes, Judge.
Any
No.
objections?
No objection, Your Honor.
No objection. States exhibits 1 and 2. Court will take judicial notice of stage 2, which is in the court's file. Mr. Lane, you advised and counsel Mr. Gunn, is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No evidence, Your Honor.
Mr. Gunn, your attorney, Mr. Lane, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Absolutely.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Gunn, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
Yes, we do, Your Honor.
And what is that agreement?
In exchange for Mr. Gunn's plea of guilty or no contest, the state is offered 6 months deferred, no bond, no community service, and court cost.
Okay. What is the court cost in this case? Okay, Mr. Gunn, the state is offering that you serve 6 months deferred adjudicated probation. During the 6 months probationary period, you will not be required to pay a fine. However, you will be required to pay court costs of $292. You'll be required to pay a probation fee of $60 each month, your analysis fee of $15 each month. You will also be required to pay a reimbursement fee of $15. Your total monthly installments is $151. Now, is he currently on probation?
Okay.
So your total monthly fees will be $151 a month. Will you be able to pay the $151 each month?
Yes.
Now, Mr. Gunn, do you understand the state's offer? Do you?
I do have a question. Can I pay the full cost today?
Yeah, that's not a problem. And that they won't stop you from doing that.
Will that make my monthly fee go down?
You still have the same amount that you have to pay each month, but on the back end, you won't have to pay it. You understand what I'm saying? So if you pay the court costs,
I have about 75 instead of 150.
yeah, it'll go, well,
It'll go down a little bit.
Yeah.
Because it's taking.
yeah,
60 plus 15 and then a one-time 15.
right.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now, are you able to pay the $151 each month?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Gunn, do you understand the state's offer? You think the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes.
And do you accept the state's offer? Mr. Gunn, I'll follow the plea bargaining agreement that you have entered into with the state. Mr. Gunn, this will, now, if you successfully complete this probationary period, the case will be dismissed, will not appear on your record as a conviction, and you may qualify for a non-disclosure. You can talk to your attorney about the non-disclosure because he's quite competent in those matters. Now, this will conclude your case. You're going to stand next to your attorney in front of our clerk, follow her directions. Once you finish following her directions, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day. And Mr. Lane, is this your only case?
Yes, sir.
You're free to go as well. You have a blessed day.
Thank you.
All right. Tell your mom I said hi. Hadn't seen her in a while.
Okay.
All right.
Your life like that.
Yeah, next. Go forward. Now, Mr. Smith, your felony case was reset?
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Do you know the reset date?
Nah, I wasn't in there when they discussed with Mr. Samuel.
His name is Stephen Michael Smith. He's on the, you need a call number?
Are you 700?
I need to put it, I'm gonna have to put the phone in. What page is it on?
7, the first one on page 7 of the announcement document. Okay, this case is gonna be reset with your felony. Your felony case is reset to October 23rd of 2023. Our court coordinator on the far end is going to give you your reset. Once you get your reset from our court coordinator, you'll be free to go. Now, on that date, you need to come on October 23rd, you need to check in here with the bailiff. And then once your case is finished down in the felony, you got to come back here. So you won't have a bond forfeiture.
Yeah, I apologize.
All right, just please stand over in front of the court coordinator. Esther. Next case is cause number M334250. Case is style, the state of Texas versus Stephanie Perez Valle or Vale. Valley,
Yeah, right here. It's the same thing.
Valle,
Yeah.
Valle, okay. Okay. That door is locked, sir. You gotta go through the other door. The court is in session and calls number M334250. Case is style, the state of Texas versus Stephanie Perez Valle. Ms. Valle, would you please raise your right hand? Ms. Valle, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth so help you God? Ms. Valle, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Ms. Valle? How are you doing?
I'm doing good in here.
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Ms. Valle, Ms. Perez Valle, you represented by your attorney, Joel Vasquez. Attorney Vasquez, how are you doing? I'm doing fine. Mr. Vasquez, do you waive a record in Ms. Perez Valle's case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Perez Valle, I have before me a document that is titled Information. This document or this information was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. This information alleges that you and Stephanie Perez Valle, on or about November 21st of 2022, while you were operating a motor vehicle in a public place in Jefferson, Texas, that you committed the Class B misdemeanor offense of driving while intoxicated. Ms. Valle, do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes.
And to this charge, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? You, Mr. How do you plead?
No cotton.
No contest?
I do that every time.
Yeah, on mine, I'm gonna have to. It's with the DWI. You can explain the difference to me. Ms. Valle. I have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishments. Do you recognize this document? Now, there's one box that's checked on this document stating that this is a driving while intoxicated first offense. On page 2 of this same document, there is a set of, well, there are a set of initials. On the line next to boxes, check no contendere. Do you recognize?
Yes,
And are these your initials?
yes,
On page 3 of this same document, there's a signature above the line that is titled defendant. Is this your signature?
yes,
And on the next document that's titled trial court certification of defendant's right of appeal, do you recognize this document?
yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes.
At the top of this same document, there are 2 boxes that's checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes.
The second box that's checked states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes, sir.
And I also have before me a document that is titled Discovery Certification. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes.
Now, Ms. Valle, before you signed and initialed these documents, did your attorney go over these documents with you?
Yes, you did.
Did you read and understand everything that your attorney went over?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct
Yes.
to the best of your knowledge? Ms. Valle, are you a citizen of the United States?
No, I'm a resident.
Okay. Gotta get her. Sign this. Now, what country are you from?
Mexico.
Mexico. There's a document that your attorney is gonna go over with you. Yeah. Ms. Perez Valle, I have before me a document that is titled English for all foreign nationals except those from mandatory notification countries. Do you recognize this document? And is this your signature?
Yes.
On the document? And there was a box, but there was a word that was circled, the word is no, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And it was, you circled no to the statement that states, do you want us to notify your consular officers at this time?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay, Now, also going back to state's exhibit number 1, there's a sentence below the title on page 1, that is the title is citizenship at the bottom of this document. And it states that if you're not a U.S. citizen or plead guilty or no contendere, may result in your deportation, exclusion from admission to the country, or denial of naturalization under federal law. Do you understand that sentence?
Yes,
And do you still want to go forward with your plea bargain?
yes.
Okay. Mr. Vasquez, could you have her initial that paragraph?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Now, Ms. Perez Valle, before you signed and initialed all of these documents that I showed you, do we have a discovery certification?
That's all.
Yeah.
You already had it, Judge.
I did.
It's enough.
Did I give it to y'all, the discovery certification? Perez Valle? Okay. Now, Ms. Perez Valle, before you signed and initialed all of these documents that I showed you, did you read the documents?
Yes, I-
Did your attorney go over these documents with you? Did you understand everything that he went over? And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
yes.
And Mr. Vasquez, pursuant to the case of Padilla versus Kentucky, did you advise your client as to the consequences of her not being a citizen and pleading guilty and no contest will be?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, Mr. Ms. Perez Valle, Mr. Vasquez, is there any evidence that your client is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, yeah.
And Ms. Valle, your attorney, Mr. Vasquez, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes.
Ms. Valle, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. And that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargaining agreement in this case?
We do, yeah.
What is that agreement?
States for plea of guilty, no contest. States agreed to recommend 10 days in Jefferson County Jail. The court calls, she has got 2 days credit and she's reported today, September 18th, 2023, before 6 p.m.
Do we have a full cost? 370. Does she have a affidavit interest? Thank you. Ms. Valle, the state is offering that you serve 10 days in the Jefferson County Jail. You will be given credit for the 2 days that you've already served and any time that you're also entitled to get by law. The court cost in this case is $370. Will you be able to pay the $370 court cost?
No.
Okay. Mr. Vasquez, would you show that to your client? Ms. Valle, your attorney is showing your document that is titled Jefferson County Affidavit of Indigence. Do you recognize that document?
Yes, I do.
On page 2 of that same document, there's a signature above the line that is titled Defendant Signatures. That's your signature.
Yes, sir.
Now, is everything in that document still true and correct today?
Yes, everything's good.
Okay. Now, Ms. Valle, Perez Valle, I will find that you are indigent based on the finding of indigence pursuant to Article 42.15 of Texas Code of Criminal Procedure. The court costs will be waived because the court is also finding that this is a hardship. Now, Ms. Perez Valle, what that basically means is that you will not be required to pay the $370 court costs. All right. Now, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, I do.
Do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes.
Ms. Perez Valle, I'll follow plea bargaining agreement that you have entered into with the state. Now, Ms. Perez Valle, You will turn yourself in today at or before 6 p.m. to serve out the remainder of the jail time. Okay, please stand in front of our court clerk and follow her directions. Once you finish following her directions, you'll be free to go. You have a blessed day.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Mr. Vasquez, do you have anything else?
No, Your Honor.
This is it? Okay.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah,
Karen McInnes.
yeah, okay,
I'll set for a plea on that if you'd like.
okay,
Just gotta rush the drug court, but I'm ready.
Oh. okay. Hold on a minute. Who's Weldon Turner?
He's right here, Judge. That's a plea.
Oh, okay,
We're ready if you want.
yeah, Mr. Turner. It's on the trial docket. Okay, let's see. You said on the trial docket?
Yes.
Okay, let me find it.
Your Honor, the courts of Mason State proceeding on a lesser included offense of DWI in the first offense of Class B.
Okay. Okay, I'm like, wait. Okay. Okay, let's look at that. Jefferson County Court at Law number 2 is back in session. The court is in session and calls number M322533. The case is styled the state of Texas versus Weldon Scott Turner.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Turner, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How are you doing, Mr. Turner?
Good, how are you doing?
I'm doing fine, thanks, Mr. Turner. Would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Turner, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Turner, you may put your hand down. Mr. Turner, you're representing your case by Attorney Corey Crenshaw. Attorney Crenshaw, how are you doing?
Doing well, Your Honor. Thank you.
That's good. Now, Mr. Crenshaw, do you waive a record in Mr. Turner's case?
Yes, sure.
Mr. Turner, I have before me a document that is titled information. This information was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. In this information, it alleges that on or about March 1st of 2019, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, operating a motor vehicle. This information alleged that you committed the Class A misdemeanor offense of driving while intoxicated. Second, the state is abandoning the enhancement paragraph, which means that this case will be reduced from a Class A misdemeanor DWI to a Class B misdemeanor DWI. Do you understand?
Yes.
Now, to the Class B misdemeanor offense of driving while intoxicated, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
No contest. Now, are you pleading no contest freely and volunteer?
Oh, guilty.
Oh.
I'll plead guilty.
You pleading guilty?
Howard doesn't have to print out the PC.
Okay, now. Now, are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading guilty because you are guilty?
Yes.
Okay, now, Mr. Turner, I also have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishments. Do you recognize this document?
Yes. Sir.
On page 2 of the same document, there are a set of initials on the line next to a box that said guilty. Did you place your initials on this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 3 of this same document, there is a signature above the line that is titled defendant. Is this your signature?
Yes.
And on the next document that is titled trial court certification of defendant's right of appeal, do you recognize this document?
Yes. Sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes. Sir.
At the top of this document, there are 2 boxes that's checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes.
The second box that's checked states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes.
I also have before me a document that is titled Discovery Certification. Do you recognize this document?
Yes. Sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes.
Now, Mr. Turner, before you signed and initialed all of these documents that I just showed you, did your attorney go over these documents with you?
Yes.
And did you read and understand everything in these documents?
Yes.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Turner, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, sir.
State, I have before me State's Exhibit number 1 of misdemeanor plea admonishment. State, would you like to offer State's Exhibit number 1 into evidence?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any objections?
No, Your Honor.
No objection. State's Exhibit number 1 will be admitted into evidence. Mr. Crenshaw, you've advised and counseled Mr. Turner. Is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, Your Honor, but I would like to just put one thing briefly on the record. My client in this case decided to accept the offer against my advice. I submitted the blood work done in this case to an expert who determined that there were some mistakes made by the DPS lab in this case. I explained that to Mr. Turner. I thought that I could likely get the blood results excluded and that we had a real chance to win this at trial. However, Mr. Turner has decided to accept the DA's offer in this case and proceed with the plea agreement. And I just wanted the court to be aware of that.
Okay. Now, Mr. Let's see. Okay, Mr. Turner, your attorney, Mr. Crenshaw, has advised and counseled you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Turner, I will accept your plea of guilty. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
We do, Your Honor.
What is that agreement?
The state for plea of guilty or no contest, state agreed to recommend 90 days probated for 1 year, 12 months, Your Honor. $1,000 fine and court costs, 80 hours community-based service, and all the other standard terms and conditions for DWI first offense, Your Honor.
Mr. Turner, the state is offering that you serve. Oh, do we have his court costs? $392? Okay, Mr. Turner. The state is offering that you serve 90 days in Jefferson County Jail. However, you will not be required to serve any more time in the Jefferson County Jail in this case because you'll be placed on probation for 1 year. During the 1 year probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $1,000 plus court costs of $392. You'll also be required to pay a probation fee of $60 each month, a year analysis fee of $15 each month, a reimbursement fee of $15. You'll also be required to pay the Jefferson County initial evaluation and DWI education fee of $125 on the day of the plea. Should a further evaluation be needed, you'll be required to pay an additional $50. Now, the total monthly installments, that is the total amount that you will be required to pay each month while you're on probation is $210 a month. Will you be able to pay the $210 each month?
Yes.
You'll also be required to perform 80 hours of community service. You'll be required to attend and complete a DWI education class, and you're required to have a drug and alcohol assessment. Mr. Turner, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
You think the state's offer in your case is fair and just? Do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Turner, I'll follow the plea bargaining agreement that you have entered into with the state. Mr. Turner, you're going to stand next to your attorney in front of our court clerk and follow her directions. Once you finish following her directions, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day. And Mr. Crenshaw, I think this is your only case.
Yes,
You'll be free to go as well and you have a blessed day.
thank you.
All right. Okay, Mr. Macon. Okay. Okay. 2 cases.
There are 3 here.
3.
I have 3 cases. 2 on the trial docket, 1 for a plea.
Oh,
No, it's not a plea today. I need a week to go over everything with him.
okay,
Because of my schedule in the last months, I haven't been able to get my client.
okay.
That's on Caleb Brown.
Brown. Okay, Caleb Brown. Would you please come forward? Mr. Brown, you have 2 cases. They are cause numbers M332099 and cause number M332103. Both cases are styled the state of Texas versus Caleb Brown. Mr. Brown, is that your full name?
Yes.
Mr. Brown, how are you doing? That's good. Mr. Brown, you're represented in your case by your attorney, Attorney James Macon. Attorney Macon, how are you doing?
It's still Monday. Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Macon, what is your announcement in Mr. Brown's cases?
Your Honor, I feel confident Mr. Brown is a plea, but I need 1 week to get with him to go over everything, to prepare him for that.
And how much time?
1 week.
1 week, reset him a week? Okay. This case will be reset to September 25th, 2023. Mr. Macon is going to get your reset. Once you get your reset from Mr. Macon, you're free to go and you have a blessed day. Okay. Next case is cause number M325446. Case is styled the state of Texas versus Michael Corridon Mackey.
I believe it's pronounced Mackey.
Mackey. Okay, your full name is Michael Corridon Mackey? Cordon?
Yes.
Okay, how you doing, Mr. Mackey?
Okay, how are you doing?
I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Mr. Mackey, you're represented in your case by your attorney, James Macon. And Attorney Macon, what is your announcement in Mr. Mackey's case?
Your Honor, I've been notified I'm number 1 and 2 in drug court. One of the gentlemen has been in jail for over 2.5 years. And Judge Thorne expects me over there at 11.
At 11?
At 11.
Okay. We don't pick a jury on this until tomorrow. I mean, what we can do is, if those cases don't go, I know they have priority because they're felony court.
Mhm.
But if those 2 cases doesn't go, and we're gonna give it a number.
They're number 1.
I know, I'm saying,
Here.
huh? He's number 1 here too, okay. So,
Physics, I know would be reflected.
Understood.
not with Zoom.
No, we're not
You
doing
know,
so.
I actually have tried the case of Hardin County and Jefferson County
Wow,
in the morning in Hardin, afternoon in Jefferson.
and well,
So you can-
yeah. Well, right, Kim will try one in 2 days. Yeah, just, we'll just have him on standby.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Okay, next case is cause number M327302, case of style of state of Texas versus Donnell Wyatt Scheck-Snyder Senior. Mr. Scheck-Snyder, your full name is that Donald Wyatt? Donald Wyatt Scheck-Snyder Senior. How you doing, Mr. Scheck-Snyder? I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Mr. Macon, what's your announcement in Mr. Scheck-Snyder?
Same announcement as Mr. Mackey's, Your Honor. Drug court is expecting me over there at 11.
Okay, okay. And where is he up? Where is he?
He's
on?
number 2 on this.
2. Oh, he 1 and 2 over here too,
Correct.
wow,
Mhm.
okay. Yeah. We'll have you on standby for 1:30 tomorrow. Just stay in contact with your attorney. Okay, same to you. We have Mr. Huh? Okay, Mr. Lewis. Quentin in Donata.
They haven't put the court date in yet.
Mr. Donata, your full name is Quentin in Donata?
Yes.
How you doing, Mr. Donata? I'm doing fine, thanks for asking, Mr. Donata. You're representing your case by your attorney Marvin Lewis. Attorney Lewis, how are you doing?
Doing all right, Judge, how you doing?
I'm doing fine now. The court coordinator just informed me that Mr. Donata's felony case was reset, but they haven't put the court date in yet.
Not yet.
And so what we're going to do, this case is going to be reset. You want it reset with your felony?
Yes, sir.
This case will be reset with your felony. And then once they have a date put in, our court coordinator is going to check the computer to see when they put it in, and then we're going to set it on the same day. And so on that day, you're going to do the same thing. Go there first, or check in here, go there, and then come back here. Yes. Yeah, just check in with the bailiff, so he'll know that you're here. Okay, so Mr. Lewis, this is your only 2 cases.
Yes, sir.
You're free to go Once, yeah, you, both of y'all are free to go and y'all have a blessed day.
You too, Judge.
Stay in contact with your attorney and your boss. Okay.
They got it over here.
Okay, this is cause number 23CCCR 0374. Case is style of state of Texas versus Eric Lee Forehand. Mr. Forehand is appearing via Zoom. Mr. Forehand, how are you doing?
Doing good. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing all right. Mr. Forehand, you're represented in your case by your attorney, Attorney Dustin Galmore. Attorney Galmore, how are you doing?
Very good. How are you?
Now, I'm doing fine. Now, Mr. Galmore, what is your announcement in Mr. Forehand's case?
Judge, we are in the beginning phases of collecting the discovery, so we do need one additional announcement date so that we can watch the videos in this case.
Okay,
Your Honor, the state's going to request is going to be here at every next setting unless he's got
okay,
COVID, obviously, or some infirmary, he's out of country.
okay. Now, Mr. Forehand, on your, give us a reset date.
October 23rd.
Okay, this case will be reset to October 23rd, 2023. Mr. Forehand, On your court date, you need to be here in person. Your case is reset to October 23rd, 2023. Again, you need to be here in person. Your attorney will be given a copy, your attorney will be giving you reset. You're free to go. Thanks for being patient with us, and you have a blessed day. Stay in contact with your attorney and your bondsman.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome. And the next case is cause number 327-496. The state of Texas versus Christopher Lewis Dollins. That's your other case?
Yes, Judge. Mr. Dollins, I don't know if the court remembers, the last time we were here, he was on Zoom. He was about to have a neck surgery. He had neck surgery on Friday last week. And so he is medically unable to be here or anything. And I do have
You have
the
some record.
papers. I do have it, and I can get it to the court here in a few minutes.
Okay. Okay. State. I think.
Yeah, I did, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've got the papers and I'll get them to your staff.
Okay.
I think that's all I have.
That's two Galmore. Crenshaw. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, thank you.
Court is back in session and calls number M326-822, case of style of state of Texas versus Harrison Brian.
Good evening.
Good evening. Oh, good morning, Mr. Brian.
I've been here for a while.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Brian, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. Brian, you're represented by your attorney, Ryan Gertz. Attorney Gertz, how are you doing?
I'm great, Judge. Thank you.
Mr. Gertz, what is your announcement in Mr. Brian's case?
Judge, we're asking for one more pretrial setting. Mr. Hoffmeyer and I think we're going to come to a resolution on this matter without taking it to trial.
That's great, Judge. I have to check up one box. And
Okay.
We'll do that.
Okay, give us a reset date.
October 23rd.
Okay, your case to be reset to October 23rd, 2023. Mr. Gertz is going to get your reset. Once you get your reset from your attorney, you'll be free to go, and you have a blessed day.
Thank you, Judge.
And you're free to go as well, Mr. Gertz.
Jeremy Andrew.
Mr. Matuska?
He's on the, on the.
Yeah, he's on Zoom. Mr. Matuska?
Um,
Yeah, Mr. Matuska, you represent,
Sir, Your Honor.
you represent Jason Nobles. He has a felony case that's set at 1 o'clock this afternoon. Is that correct? Mr. Matuska, you represent.
Yes, sir. We're waiting on the felony.
Okay, yeah, his felony case is set at 1 o'clock today. And so we'll hold on him until 1 this afternoon, and then you'll let us know what's going on with the felony, and if the felony is reset, do you want us to reset it with the felony?
Yes, sir. I don't know if he's in custody, though. He was in custody for a while.
Oh, we show that he's in custody. Hold on, is he
Okay.
still? Let's say he's still in custody.
Yes, sir. If you could just wait for the felony court.
Okay, we'll do that.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, you're free to go, and you have a blessed day.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Mr. West is currently in trial, and Mr. West is unavailable. And based on his unavailability, your case will be reset. Okay, our court coordinator is going to get you reset. And this is a pretty one. It's an old one. It was a short, not too long reset, because this is a, yeah.
October 23rd.
No, we have any